of Milo.
To include Jews while he was standing on the steps of the temple.
He was standing on the steps of the Harabayas, and I assume Ben Zoyma was a Tanas, so he could have been around doing the Shas Beis Hamikdash. So he was there on one of the steps there, and he saw 600,000 Eden. Omer said Baruch Hacham Rozim, and he also said, which sounds a little bit gaivadik, which is not the Shloch explains, and he said Baruch Shabara Kol Edul L'Sham Sheni. Ben Zoyma must have been a wealthy guy. And he said, look at all these 600,000 people, they were all created to serve me. What does that mean? He would say, how hard did Adam Arishan have to work until he finally got himself a piece of bread? Chorash, he had to plow. Vizora, and he had to plant. V'kotzer, he had to cut. V'omar, and he had to prune. V'dosh, and he had to cut down, he had to harvest. V'dosh, and he had to thresh. V'zora, he had to winnow. Ubar, and he had to sift. V'tachan, he had to grind. V'hirkid, hirkid means to sift, probably, right? V'losh, and he had to knead. V'oven, he had to bake. V'achach, and finally he's exhausted. He can barely stand anymore from all his hard work. Ochal. I go to the grocery store and I buy it. And I find everything ready for me. So basically, all of the whole workforce, he's looking at the 600,000 Eden, all the workforce, they do all my work, and I just buy a packaged bread in the bakery. Till he found clothing. This doesn't mean his first piece of clothing. First piece of clothing was gifted, but the future clothing, he had to gazas, he had to shear, v'liben, he had to whiten, v'nipetz, and he had to comb, v'tovin, he had to spin, v'argin, he had to weave. And what do I do? And I go to the store and I buy everything ready. So, he was a rich person. Everybody wanted him to invest with them. Everybody wanted to offer him business deals. I don't even have to go anywhere. I don't even have to go on the internet. They come to my house banging the doors down to seek opportunity. So the Shlosh says this wasn't Gaiva. He was just trying to show that the whole purpose of the Bria is to learn Torah, and everything else that goes on in the Bria is merely to create a support system for Torah. He would say, what does a good guest say? He comes to a home and he gets very well taken care of. So he says, look at the hard work and the inconvenience that this Balabais did on my behalf. Look at the delicious meats he served. Look at the delicious wines that he served. How many delicious delicacies did he bring in front of me? And all of his hard work that he did, he did it all for me, so I'm appreciative. Even though he had the exact same experience as the Orech Toiv, his perspective can be completely negative. What would he say? What great inconvenience did he do for me? What did I eat in that? To pass achas ochalti? I ate one piece of bread. I don't know, he prepared the whole thing, but I ate one piece of bread. I had one little piece of meat. I had one little drink. He only worked, he did all this, he was preparing for himself anyway. The little brechel that I ate, that didn't impact anything at all. I always tell the guests, thank you for coming, now I got a geschmack meal out of it. Because usually the whole meal, even for the whole family, is served better because of the kavod Orech. But the Orech says, you didn't do anything for me. So what does the pasuk say regarding a good guest? The Gemara is Zechor. This is really talking about our relationship with Rebbeinu Shalom. Zechor kisashki pa'aloi. Remember what Hashem did. Asher anoshim, that the people are. I think it means they're praising Hashem, but it's also referring. We're also applying it here to Zechor kisashki pa'aloi. Asher anoshim, but we're applying it to a guest, appreciating what is hosted. Al oirich raksiv lachein yirei anoshim lo yirei kol chach melev. And that's referring to people who don't realize that there's Rebbeinu Shalom and respect Rebbeinu Shalom. Now the Gemara talks about a pasuk of when David came to the forefront. So it says, "Ve'ish b'mei shol." This person in the days of Shol, Zakin, he was old. Boba Anoshim, came with the people. Amar Rava, what's pshat in this pasuk? V'tei Rabbi Zvid, v'tei Rabbi Oshia. Who is this ish that the Novi is talking about in Malachim? Zok Gemara, Zeh Yishai Avi David. This person was Yishai, the father of David. Sheyatzel bechlusa. Wherever he went, he was followed by the paparazzi. He was followed by a whole crowd of Talmidim. V'nichnas bechlusa. And when he left, he was with the crowd. When he came in, he was with the crowd. V'darsh bechlusa. When he darshened, he had a whole crowd listening to him. Amar Ula said, Daktinan, we know that ein uchlusa bevavel. The halacha, the halacha of making the bracha, you don't make in Bavel. And then we also learned ein uchlusa b'chusa mishisham riboy. Why don't we say the bracha of Baruch Hacham Rosim in Bavel? Again, because we know that it's all really about the Torah. Like we said earlier, it's about the Chachma. And Avir Yetzel Machbin, the level of Torah in Eretz Yisrael is much greater, so it's only the level of Torah in Eretz Yisrael rises to the level that requires the bracha of Chacham Rosim, but in Bavel you would not make such a bracha. Tanarban, Harei Chachma Yisrael, someone who sees Chachma Yisrael, Omer, he says, Baruch Shechalak Michachmasoi Liyireav. Chachma Oiv Likachavim, Omer Baruch Shenosan Michachmasoi Libriosov. So if we look at these two brachas, there's some differences between them. A is the nusach used to talk about the Chachma Yisrael was chalak, and the nusach used to describe the Chachma given to the Goy was nosan. Chalak is a much more intimate knowledge. Hashem shared from His Chachma. It's more of a godly knowledge versus knowledge that the Rebbeinu Shalom would give, for instance, to a scientist. The second thing is Yireav. In order to be zoicha to this intimate knowledge of Torah from the Rebbeinu Shalom, it comes through Yiras Hashem. However, the Chachma that comes L'Briyosav, the scientific Chachma, would come, it just comes because the Rebbeinu Shalom gave him Chachma, it's not linked to Yiras Hashem, and the Aleph in the Gra changes L'Briyosav to L'Basar V'Dam. Haraya Malchi Yisrael, if someone sees a Jewish king, Omer, he says, Baruch Shecholak Michvoide Lireav. Again, a lashon yira and a lashon of chalak, because we're talking about Malchei Yisrael. Malchei of Kechavim, Omer Baruch Shenosan Mikvodei LeBriyosov. Omer B'Yochanan, La'olam Yishtadel Odom Loritz Likras Malchei Yisrael. A person should always try to run towards Malchei Yisrael to get a glimpse of them. V'loy Likras Malchei Yisrael Belvad. He should not only try to get a glimpse of Malchei Yisrael, El Afilu Likras Malchei Oivit Kechavim. He should also try to get a glimpse of Malchei Oivit Kechavim. Why? Shem Yizke, if you'll be Zoichel Olam Haba, and you'll see the covet of Melech HaMashiach, so Rashi, then Yafkin ben Malchei Yisrael and Malchei Oivit Kechavim, you'll see that there's no comparison between the glory given to Malchei Goyim compared to the glory of Melech HaMashiach. And there's a whole shaila if you're supposed to go out of your way to constantly make this bracha or not. So it's brought down that by a Goyish king, you should only try to do it once, because the whole purpose of why you're supposed to Zok Gemara is so you should be able to be mafkin bein Malchei Yisrael and Malchei of the Kechavim. So once you get that glimpse, you already have what you need. Now you're ready for your Olam Haba to do the comparison. But there's a shaila if you see a president of Ukraine, and then you have the opportunity to see the Prime Minister of Canada, and then you have the opportunity to see the President of the United States. We're talking about a higher level of Gedula. Could be there is such a reason. And there's also a shaila if you could make a bracha b'chlal on a melech who doesn't have the decision of whether or not you should die or live. Our leaders nowadays can't arbitrarily kill people, unless you're Soleimani. But they can't arbitrarily kill people. There's a justice system.
They can fix
so could be they don't have that.
They can fix the election, right?
Why does it depend on life or death? Why is that the criteria for the melech who has been given the kvoid
I think that's what a melech is. I think that's the definition of a melech.
Absolute monarch.
Yeah. Nowadays we don't have melech.
As opposed to the vodka.
What's that?
Absolute monarch.
Monarchy,
As opposed to the...
Why only that warrants the bracha of malchus? Because that anything other than that is not malchus. It's not malchus. It's a regular guy.
Many
What makes someone...
Well, that rule only applies when you don't have actually someone who has the title of a king. The title of a head of state is enough, according to many Baskim. It's if there's some sort of like warlord that happens to have the measure of whether he is considered a leader is whether he has the power of life and death. And many people can hold that for Queen Elizabeth, for example, you can make.
If you have a title of a king, you're clearly a leader of a big country, you're allowed to. What about a second-rate guy? If he can kill, he also gets that.
That's the measure that shows.
Then there's also a shayla, you have to have... Zok Gemara, but it's a good shayla. What is vested in the power of killing this? But when it's loved after, that's just a litmus test. Rab Sheshes, Sagi nor Hava. Rab Sheshes was blind. This is a beautiful story. Havaka Azli Kula Alma Lakpuli Apimalka. Everyone was going to greet the king. V'kam Azal Badayu, and he was going to join them. V'kam Azal Badayu Rab Sheshes, and Rab Sheshes were going to join them. There was this Tzeduki that bumped into Rab Sheshes, seeing him going to greet the king. Amrullah, he said, I don't understand. Chatzulu Nahara. If you have a full keli that's not broken, you'll take it to the river so that you can shep water with it. But Kigani Laya, a broken keli, where's he going? What do you know that you can't see anyway? You're going to see the king, you can't see the king anyway. Amrullah, he says, oh really, you think I can't see? Tochazi, you come and see. I have a better perception of the presence of the king than you do. Chalav Gunda Kamaisha, the first battalion in the king's entourage arrived in his motorcade. The first group of vehicles in the motorcade came. Kika Avsha, when it passed, Omerle Ahu Tzaduki, Asamalka, the king's here. Omerle Absheshis, nah, like us, he's not coming. Chalav Gunda Tinyasa, the second group of the motorcade came. Chalav Gunda Tinyana, Kika Avsha again, Omerle Ahu Tzaduki, hashtag Asimalka. I don't think so. Like Asimalka. Chalat Lisoi, and after the third motorcade passed, Kika Shoska, then things were quiet. Then Amal Rab Sheshes, Vade Hashas Timalka. Rab Sheshes told him, Blinda height, now the king is coming. Amr Le'ahu Tzeduki, so the Tzeduki was amazed. I mean, no lacha. How do you know that now the king's there? Amr Le, the Machusa, the Arak, and Machusa de Rikia. The Malchus in Olam Hazeh is similar to that, similar to the Rebbeinu Shalom in Shemayim. And what does it say in the pasuk? The Chsiv say, "V'madata bahar lafnei Hashem." Go stand in the mountain in front of Hashem. V'nei Hashem over. Hashem is going to be coming. V'ruach gedola. There'll be a great wind. V'chazak mefarek harim, a big strong wind that breaks up mountains. U'mashaber shloim, and breaks rocks. Lafnei Hashem, in front of Hashem. Loi b'ruach Hashem. Hashem's not in that ruach. That ruach, that big ruach that comes, that's not where Hashem is. The achar ruach, after the ruach passes, rash, there'll be a great noise. Loi b'rash Hashem. Hashem's not there either. The achar rash eish, then there'll be fire. Loi b'eish Hashem. The achar eish koil d'mamadaka. But after the eish is the koil d'mamadaka, and that's a sign of the presence of the Shekhinah. So I knew that the king wouldn't be arriving until things quiet down. Ki asa malka, when the king actually arrived, Pasuk Absheshes, v'kam avarchli, and he made a bracha. Amar lei, ahu tzeduki. So Tzeduki told him, I don't understand. Lemanda lechazes lei, kam avarches. You're making a bracha and you can't even see. Umahaver Allah ahu tzeduki. What happened to this Tzeduki? He was pestering and harassing Absheshes. Ikid amri chavrui kachilu le'enei. Either what happened was that they poked his eye out. I don't know who they were, but someone poked his eyes out. Because the Amri, Rab Sheshes, Nasan anybody, even though he was blind, he was still able to give him a dirty look. And the guy died. So there's a lot of shalas lalach over here, because it seems that you can make a bracha on the king even though you can't see the king. And there's a big machlokes of poskin if you could make a bracha on the king if you can't see the king. So let's say, for instance, the king drives by in his motorcade, and it's tinted windows, and you can't see the king. Can you make a bracha? So there are those who bring a raya from here that avad you can make a bracha as long as you know the king is there. There are others who hold that you don't have a raya from Rab Sheshes, because by Rab Sheshes the king was exposed; everybody could see the king. He rather was blind, so maybe the king has to be seeable. If someone's blind, they can make a bracha, but the king has to be seeable. If the king is concealed, that wouldn't be enough to make a bracha. And there are other shittus who learned that Rab Sheshes didn't make the bracha over here. He did not make the bracha here Shenosan Michvolei de Libriosov. The Reb Sheshes Tam gave a personal blessing to the king, but he didn't actually say that bracha. So it could be b'chalal. You don't have a raya from here that you don't have to see the king in order to be able to make the bracha. Reb Shila Nagde Lahu Gavra. Reb Shila gave malchus to this fellow, the Baal Mitzvahs, because he was Baal Mitzvahs. So I guess Reb Shila had some level of authority, and he was able to arrange that this fellow should get beaten up. Also, so this guy was upset, so he went and reported him to the government. We had a story not so long ago in our Jewish world about people that actually a couple of Rabbanim were sitting in jail today because they tried to convince people to give gittin. So he went to snitch on Reb Shila for giving him malchus. Amar, he said, King, we got a problem. There's some Jew, the Kadai and Dinah B'lei Harmona. He's paskening halachas. He's vetting out justice without any authorization. B'lei Harmona the Malka. Shodor lePristika. They sent an officer right away to pick him up and bring him in for questioning. He also, when Abshela was brought in for questioning, Amrilei, they asked him, "My timer, Nagdasei why did you beat this fellow?" Amalu, I'll tell you why. The Baal Chamrasa, he slept with a donkey. That's sodomy, right?
No,
So
bestiality.
that's bestiality. So that even in their world was abominable.
Don't mix up your TV.
Amrlei, I don't expose myself as being not knowledgeable in these terms. Amrlei, they told him, Islach Sahadi, they asked Abshil, do you have any witnesses that this fellow slept with a chamor? Amrlu, I saw it in my dream last night. Amrlu, Avada. Where did he get a witness from? Elio. Elio came. Admulei Keinish. He came in the form of a human. But Asad, and he said testimony. Amrlei, they told Abshil, I don't understand. If you have proof positive that this fellow did touch an Aveira, why didn't you kill him? Amrlu, Abshil said, listen, Adan, us Jews, ever since we went into Golos from our land, we don't have authority to kill. We give malchus. Atan, but you, as the rulers of the country, whatever you feel is appropriate, do with him. Okay, so then they decided they have to have a trial and see what to do with this perpetrator. Adam Aini Babadina, while the secular courts were analyzing how to deal with this case, Pasuk Abshila Abshila got up and said, L'cha Hashem Agdula v'Agavura Amr Lei, my comment. What are you saying? Amr Lelu, he said, Hachi Kamina. This is what I'm saying, he tells the courts. Barich Rachmana, the Yov Malchusa Ba'ara, benches the Rebbeinu Shalom, who created a Malchus on this world, Ke'ei Malchusa Dirikia, similar to the Malchus in Shamayim, V'Yov L'Chushotana, and he gave you authority, Barach Medina, and I think Rashi speaks to this. Rashi, I have him mishpat, and he created a society that loves justice. Amrud, so the government said, look at this Rab Shila who's praising our malchus. Chaviva le yakada mechusa kulahai. This man is someone who so strongly respects and loves our wonderful malchus. We want to promote him and actually give him the ability to mete out punishment and put him into power. Yovel Kulfa, they gave him the stick. Rashi's Maka Lirdois. They gave him a stick where he could punish people. I'm not sure if that's a literal stick or if it's a figurative stick or both. Amrullah, they told him, Don Dina, you go Paskin. Ki Avanofik, so when he left the court, Amrullah Hu Gavra, so Shila said, I'm sorry, the perpetrator said, Hu Gavra, Amrullah Hu Gavra, this Hu Gavra, the perpetrator said, Avul Rachman and Nisa Lashakri, the Rebbeinu to make a nay, send Eliyahu Novi to say a lie in court to convict me. That's how the Rebbeinu works. How you talking? Hachi Amrullah, Russia. I'm sorry. Hachi Lashakri Hachi. Then Amrullah, he told him Russia. You're a Russia. Lav Chamri Ikru. Aren't the goyim referred to as donkeys? This is great evidence for the Hugaver to use now against Reb Shela. So they're like chamorim. So right away, oh, you hear a second ago, you're saying a two-faced liar. In the court, you're talking about how great this nation is and how wonderful their court system is, and now you're referring to them as animals. So Chazidik Azal Member Lahu, the Karina Chamri, he saw, Rab Shelo saw, that the who Gaver was running to tell the king that this Jew looks at you all like Chamor. Amar Hayroidifu. Now he's a Roidif because he's actively trying to get me killed. Fatayr Amra in Balargecha Hashkim Lahargai. So what did he do? He took the stick, Mochia Bakofa Bakatle. He gave him a whack with the stick and he killed him. Amar, he said, and he had the right to do that because the king had given him that power. Amar Hoyel Bisavali Nisa Baikra, since I had a nace, because of this pasuk, because when I said L'Chashem Agdullah, that gave me the ability to be a ruler. So to pay back the pasuk, Darshinalei, I'm going to darshan it. L'Chashem Agdullah, Zu Maisa Bereshus, that's referring to the Maisa Bereshus. V'cheinu Omer, Oisek Gedolos Arein Cheker. V'Gavura, when it says Gavura, Zu Yitzis Mitzrayim, Shenemar Vayar Yisrael Siyad Agdolah Shas Hashem Mitzrayim. Interesting enough, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say the word Gavura in the pasuk, but the pasuk is describing an act of Gavura. V'Teferes Zu Chama Ulavana. This is the sun and the moon she'amdu loy li Yeshua, that Hashem stopped for Yeshua. Shenemar v'yidem Hashemesh v'reichamad. He stopped the sun, the Rebbeinu Shalom, for Yeshua, and stopped the moon. V'netzach zuma palosa shal Romi. This is referring to the fall of Rome. V'chinu oimar v'yeis nitzcham al begodai, referring to the fall of Rome. V'hahoid zu milchamas nachli arnoi. That's the Mechal Nachtan, which we already learned when the mountains came together, and Klal Yisrael was oblivious to the fact. So Hoid refers to Yeshua's that the Rebbe Shalom does for us behind the scenes that we're oblivious to. And then the next part of the pasuk is Gechal B'Shamayim Uvaretz Zu Milchemes Sisra. This was the Milchem of Sisra. Shenemar Min Shamayim Nochamu HaKoichvim Mimisiloisam. L'cha Hashem HaMamlocha. Zu Milchamas Hamalek, that's referring to Milchamas Hamalek, Chinoimer, which we're going to learn to, Kiyad al Keska. Hamisnase, Zu Milchamas Goig Mogoig, Chinoimer, Hinini Elech Goig, Nasi Roish, Meshech V'Tuval. L'chol L'Roish. L'chol Roish is the last words of the pasuk. Amar B'chanan B'Rava, Amar B'Echnon, Afilu Reish Gergisa, Min Shemayim Manulei. The Rebbeinu Shalom is in charge of any person who has any level of authority. The Rebbeinu Shalom is the one who gave him that authority. And the Reish Gagisa, Rashi says, is they used to have a canal system that was dug to irrigate fields, and then there was a water source, and somebody had to be in charge of which place to route the water to, because I guess there was some type of cycle of who got water when. So there had to be someone in charge of determining who had the water that day, and even that level of authority, the Rebbeinu Shalom, even that level the Rebbeinu Shalom determines. So I would refer to it as the seat Dayan in Lakewood. There's a guy in Lakewood, he's called the seat Dayan. And he's full of himself. He thinks he's a big position. So even the seat Dayan the Rebbeinu Shalom takes. Okay, so what? You have two groups of people saying, this is my seat. And some say, no, this is my seat. So there's a seat Dayan who passes who has rights to that seat. There's a seat Dayan. Do you remember the seat Dayan? Does he still ride a bike? What? There's a seat Dayan too? Yeah. So even that seat Dayan, the Rebbeinu Shalom says, who should be a seat Dayan? It's probably a work study program position. It probably is a work study position. Yeah, it probably is. Everything's a paid position. Zog to Gemara, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Zog to Gemara weiter. So every little level of even the guy who's in yeshiva gets the key to the kitchen, that's also from the Rebbeinu Shalom. Every level of authority. That came from the Rebbeinu Shalom. You got it from the Rebbeinu Shalom. Zog to the Rebbeinu Shalom picked you. Zog to Gemara weiter.
I still feel good about myself.
B'masnis Tana Mishmei Rabbi Akiva L'cha Hashem Agdula Zu Kriyas Yamsuf V'Gavura Zu Makas B'Choris V'Teferes Zu Matan Torah V'Netzach Zu Yerushalayim V'Hoid Zu Beis Hamikdash. So that's how Rabbi Shila paid back the pasuk through which he had a nace that saved his life. Tana Rabban Haroye Bata Yisrael B'Yeshuva. Someone sees the homes of Klal Yisrael established. Omer, he says, Baruch Matziv Gevul Almana. And there's a shaila if that's referring dafka to the Beis Hamikdash, or if you just see Jewish settlements built in Eretz Yisrael. B'chabanan, if you see them in ruins, Omer Baruch Dain Haimes. What about Batei Oivdei Gechavim? B'Yishuvam Omer Beis Geyim Yisach Hashem. And the homes of Balai Gaiva Hashem should wipe out. B'chabanan, if you see them destroyed, Omer Kel Nakamais Hashem, Kel Nakamais Hafiyah.
Which they said when in France, when that place was burning.
Oh, they said that when
I
the
think
Notre
I
Dame,
saw some quotes,
yeah?
Notre Dame was burning.
Okay. Ula of Reb Chisda have a ka'alzi b'orcha. Ula and Reb Chisda were strolling along. Ki matu apischa, the very Reb Chana bar Chaniloi, when they reached the home of Reb Chana bar Chaniloi, which was not in its glory anymore, Nogad Reb Chisda v'asnach. Reb Chisda gave a big krechts. Amalei Ula, amai kamis nachas, why are you krechtzing? For Amar Rav said, Anocha sheveres chatzi gufa shel adam. The krechs breaks half the goof of a person, and Rabbi Elvin spoke out that the top half of a person is the ruchnistic part, and the bottom half of the person is the more gashmistic part, and the krechs weakens the gashmistic part of the person, so that's why it says half of the person. Shenemar v'ata ben adam ha'anach b'shivin masnayim. The krechs breaks the loins. The whole goof of a person gets ruined because of a krechts. So you see the krechts ruins the whole body. He told him, how could I not krechts? Besa, a home. The Habiba Shitin Afyosa b'Yamama. It had 60 full-time bakers by day. And it had 60 bakers by night. Notice that's 2 12-hour shifts, not 3 8-hour shifts. Okay? And they would be baking 24/7 or 24/6 for anybody who would need food. Again, the owner of the home, he never took his hand out of his pocket. You know why? Maybe a good oni will come. Till I put my hand into my pocket, he'll be embarrassed and he'll turn away. So I want to have my hand in my pocket ready with money to quickly be able to give the ani. He had a tent like that of Avram Avinu, so it's open. It was open on all 4 sides, so anybody can come from any direction. The chol dav ayil, chafin, anybody who came hungry, nofik hisava, he would leave completely satisfied. And not only that, what if someone was embarrassed to come into his soup kitchen? So what he would do is, he would leave wheat and barley outside the house, so people can come without being noticed and help themselves. Someone who would be embarrassed to come take by day could come and sneak by night. And now, Hashta Nofal Batala, now it's sitting in ruins. Rashish and Nofal, if Nasatel, it became like an empty piece of land. V'loy Asnach, and I shouldn't krechts. Such a downfall, I shouldn't krechts. Omer Loi, he told him, Hachi Omer Rabbi Yochanan. This is what Rabbi Yochanan said. So Ula and Rabbi Chisda, and Rabbi Chisda gave the krechts. So Ula told Rabbi Chisda, this is what Rabbi Yochanan said. Yom Shechar Beis HaMikdash, Nigzer Gzeira al Batein Shel Tzadikim Sheyichru. The day that the Beis Hamikdash is chayav, there's a Gzeira on the homes of Tzadikim that they should be chayav. Shenemar ba'oznei Hashem tzavakois im loy batim rabim l'shama yiyu, they'll be ruined. V'dolim b'toivim me'ein yoshev. V'amar B'yochanan, and Rabbi Yochanan said, also HaKadosh Baruch Hu lachzirim liyushuvam. Eventually, they're going to be rebuilt. Shenemar shir amalos l'David aboitchem b'Hashem k'Har Tzion. Mahar Tzion also HaKadosh Baruch Hu lachziroi liyishuvoi. Just like the Beis Hamikdash, Rabbi Hashem is going to end up restoring to its glory. Potential tzaddikim also the HaKadosh Baruch Hu lachziroi liyishuvoi. So basically saying there's hope. There's hope. The same way they're going to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash, these homes will be restored. Chazia, Ula saw the Lo Miyashav Date that Reb Chisda still wasn't calmed down. Omeloi said, DYLive Sheker Rabbi. You know, you're correcting more about this house than you are about the Beis Hamikdash. You shouldn't be correcting more about this house than you would correct about the Beis Hamikdash. Tanarabban. Haroy Kiver Yisrael. If you go by a basic forest, Omer you say, Baruch Asher Yotzer Eschem Badin, Vizon Eschem Badin, you give him Panosha, the Kilkel Eschem Badin, V'asaf Eschem Badin, he took him back, Badin, V'asad Lakimchem Badin, Marbered Ravina Masayim Ba Mishmed Rav Nachman, V'yadei Mishpakulchem, V'hu Asad Lachayoischem U'lakayim Eschem, Baruch Mechaya Mesim. So the Shaila is, we're going to see in a second. Kiver Ovid Kichavim. What if it's Kiver Ovid Kichavim? There you're not so generous. Omer Busha Imchem. Your mother's or it's a busha that she had people like you. Omer B'Shem B'Levi. Haroyes Chaver Lachash Shloshim Mem. So I'm sorry. I want to stop here a second because the relevant spoke out. How often could you make this bracha? So I think the Olam says if you're not there for 30 days, you make the bracha, right?
Every 30 days.
Only if you're not there. I don't make the bracha.
So there was a shayla that happened in Bnei Brak. The guy said every day on the way on my normal course of business, I pass the basic forest of Bnei Brak. So I can't make a bracha there. But I'm going today to Yerushalayim to Har Menuchas. Do I have to make the bracha by Har Menuchas? So there was actually a three-way machlokes in the poskim if you're supposed to make a bracha. And one of the poskim said if there's even one new grave there, so for that you can make the bracha, even if it's not 30 days. So there's actually a shayla in the poskim if you would make that bracha within 30 days if there's a new grave there or if it's a different basic forest. I guess you have to ask your local Orthodox rabbi. If you didn't see your friend for 30 days and then you see your friend, or you say Baruch Shechiyanu v'Kimanu v'Ganu Lazman Hazeh. Lach Yud Beis Chodesh. If it's 12 months and you didn't see your friend, Omer Baruch Mechaya Mesim. The Gemara is going to tell us later. Rashi tells us later that it's the reason why there's 12 months is because in Perek Eilim Tzis, I'm reading the third wide line at the top of Rashi. Eilim Tzis says, "Misha Latza Kli, Oy Shum Mitzia Chayiv Lahachish Shalosh Regalim, Then the Mimtzach HaSukkos Tzarech Lahantam Lahachish B'Pesach U'Batzeres U'B'Chag. Then the Yud Beis Chodesh. You call out a Mitzia for 12 months because after that it's forgotten. So since after 12 months you forget this person, if you didn't see him, that's why you make the bracha Mechaya Mesim. Rabbi Elvin said that the Kloisenberger Rebbe, after the war, every Yid that he saw, that he knew from before the war, he made a bracha and then Mechaya Mesim. Because you don't know. I'm sorry?
Longer than 12 months.
Yeah.
Isn't also something about the Rosh Hashanah that...
all right. Another shot in the significance of 12 months is every Rosh Hashanah, really, we're not supposed to live. We only live with the Rach and Shemaim. So really, every year, we have a new lease on life, right? That's not right.
After the Holocaust, it's not such a chiddush to say B'chai Mason because the couple went through hell.
Yeah.
But here we're just saying even if
A
it
regular
was
life.
Lakewood, and, you didn't see it for 12 months, you say B'chai Mason.
That's right.
Have you ever said it? Have you seen a new friend? Have you said it? I'm thinking friends I haven't seen in a long time. I was in New York. I didn't say it. It's just not that you say with the Shem Hashem.
I never said it. I don't know.
You never asked your local
Just as school, I remember that nowadays that we keep in touch,
We're not
not face to face.
So that's good
Even
enough.
that, so if you see somebody by email or by...
Well, if I see a
Facebook,
picture of him in the
I see-
tent or something, I write up. That's like there's still connection.
That's something that today, because once upon a time, your mom had no connection whatsoever. Today, you know what's going
There's
on.
no nishkach, there's no...
Right.
I hear it. That makes sense. But did you ever go to a simcha and you saw somebody from so long in your past history that you forgot that they even existed? And then you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That happens to us. I wonder if they make a
happened
bracha.
a few weeks.
What?
I forgot the person's name, and I knew it.
Right. And but you forgot that it even existed, right? That happens sometimes. I don't know. Amarav. Ein ameis mishtakach min melev ela lacher shnei mas chodesh. Shenar min nishkachti kemeis milev ha'isik chli'ovid. And that's what Rashi says, that 12 months is the amount of time where people forget about things. Rav Papa, this is a very scary story. Rav Papa v'Rav Huna b'Rei Rabbi Yeshua have a ka'azli b'orcha. Rav Papa was walking together with Rav Huna b'Rei Rabbi Yeshua. Pagu Bey Rav Chanina b'Rei Ravika. They met Rav Chanina, the son of Rabika. Amr Lei, they told him, Ba'adi de Chazinach, when I see you, B'Rachinin Alach Tarti. I'm going to make two brachas on you. Baruch Asher Chalak Mechachmas Eliyareov, because you're a Talmud Chacham, and V'Shechiyanu. I'm going to make a bracha Shechiyanu. Amr Lu, he told him back, Anon Nami, Kivin de Chazinchu, when I see you too, Chashvesinchu Ilui Kishitin Rabban Beis Yisrael, I consider you like 600,000 people. Uberchine Elaychu Tlosa. I'm going to make 3 brachas on you. Hanach Tarti, the 2 brachas that you're going to make on me, and Baruch Chacham HaRozim. So this is what I was referring to earlier. There's no 600,000 people. It's just 2 people here. But Vibal the bracha of Chacham HaRozim. It's not on the people. It's on the perspectives. He said, you two are such chashuv Talmidei Chachamim that you 2 people encompass all the perspectives of 600,000 people. So therefore, I feel it's appropriate to make such a bracha on you. Omrulei, they told him, Knacker, you don't think anyone Chazal ever thought of this? You woke up with this chiddush. Chachimas kula hai. You think you're such a big knacker? You have a be'enayu v'shachav. They gave him a little look, and he died. It's unbelievable. He wanted to make a bracha on them. He wanted to compliment them and make a bracha on them. They knocked him off. Amr b'shu b'levi. So next time you try to make a bracha on somebody, just be careful. Be careful he doesn't take it the wrong way. Amr b'shu b'levi. Haroy es habahakon. Huh? Just follow the rule. Don't make no day, right? Amr b'shu b'levi. Haroy es habahakon. If you see bahakonim, I think people who have spots, spotty people, I think it is, right? There's spots. Omer Baruch Mishana Habriyos. Meis Mefek Gemara. Rosa Kushi, he saw someone who's black. Vesa Gichar, somebody who's red. Vesa Lavkon, somebody who's white. Vesa Kipach, somebody who is very fat. Vesa Nanas, somebody who's a midget. Vesa Hadronikos, Rashi once said that he has warts. There's another shot as well, I think. I'm sorry?
I think Hafech is not over.
You say, Baruch Mishana Sabrius. I'm not sure how you say that without insulting.
I'm not saying just
You should say low.
If you tell me like a brisk creek, please stand still.
I'm not sure how that works.
So it says you go to the circus. That's because everyone you mentioned, there's a circus
Since you
act,
say
right?
there's actually a Shaila Alach. Somebody asked the Rav, should I go to the circus to be able to make such brachos? So the Rav said it depends on the environment at the circus. If it's a frivolous environment, maybe you shouldn't go. But if it's an earthy environment, yeah, go make the bracha. What about a keta, someone who's an amputee?
That's why it's called a circus.
It's obviously a person the rope didn't know. As a kid, if you saw an amputee, as a summa blind person, that's pesuye haroish. What I forgot what pesuye haroish is.
His hair is matted.
His hair sticks together. Rashi says. There's a chigor, someone who is limping, means his feet might be cut off. There's a mukashchin, or if he's full of boils. There's a bahakonim. Bahakonim is the same guy we said earlier with spots. Omer baruch dynamis. So do you make a Mashana Bris or do you make a dynamis? So the loikash, it depends. If he was born that way, you make a Mashana Bris. Ha basar disyalid, but if this only inflicted him after he was born, then you say dynamis.
So you have to ask him, were you born this way? Hey, or did you...
Tell me that you got this condition.
Dekanami, dekatani, dumi dekata. The brisa that says Baruch Ha'inemis puts it in the brisa with an amputee. Clearly, an amputee is something that did not occur at birth. It was something that happened later.
And these are not obviously Jewish, right? And they're not Yidden. So
That's
Kushi or somebody else. So I go to a basketball game and I see 7'2"
Yeah, I don't know.
Kushi.
Why do we make a Mashana Bris unless in those days we never saw them? We live amongst them.
Yes, I don't know if you would say.
All these things are Echad L'Shloshim Yom.
I'm sorry?
All these things are Echad L'Shloshim Yom, I think, at least.
So if you don't see, for 30, okay. Tanarabon, Heroya pill, if you see an elephant, Kuf a monkey, the Kufuf is there's canal, but
This is not in your dreams. This is real, right?
Right. Omer, you say, Baruch Mishanas Abrias. Rob Brias Toivis, we saw good things, Vilanas Toivis, and nice things. Omer Baruch Shekachalei Ba'ilama, and that's a shayla if we make nowadays, if we have such things nowadays, how often you make these brachas. Allah Zikin. Zikin are like shooting stars. My Zikin, Amr Shmuel, Chuchva the Shavet. It's a shooting star. V'Amr Shmuel, and Shmuel said, a comet, okay? Nihirin li shvili d'shmaya k'shvili d'nada. I have such clarity in the paths of the heaven, like I know Narda. Lebar mekoich v'd'shavet lo'idana ma'niu. The only thing I don't know about the shvili d'shmaya is koich v'd'shavet. So Rabbi spoke out the chiddush of Shmuel wasn't that he knew shvili d'shmaya. The chiddush is he knew shvili d'nada. That's the chiddush.
What?
The chiddush is not that Shmuel knew the shvili d'shmaya. The chiddush is that Shmuel knew shvili d'nada. Ugamiri, we learned the Avar Kisla, that the shooting star will never cross the constellation of Kisla. The other Kisla, and if it would cross the constellation of Kisla, Charav Alma, the world would be destroyed. In fact, the Marabaka Chasinan, the Avar, we see that it did cross Kisla. It's more Zivehud Avar, its shine, its tail, its luminance passed Kisla, but not the actual shooting star. Umischazik the Avar, it only looks like it passed. Rav Huna Berei B'Shua Amar, it's a different shot. According to one shot of Tosfos, it's going back on the same comet, and it's saying it might have looked that the comet went there, but that's not really what you're seeing. What you're seeing is V-line hu de mikra. You're seeing a tear in the V-line, in the curtain between the different heavens, the megalga. And since it's torn, you can see the light from behind the curtain. And I'm not sure what these things are. Ravashi Omar, it's a star that was uprooted from the other side of this constellation Kisla. And someone's seeing it from the other side, but it's not really penetrating. The shooting star didn't really go through the comet. Just another star, another that looks like it. It looks like it went through, but it didn't really go through. I'm not sure exactly how that looks. I don't know my astronomy.
There's such a thing as the bending of light.
Uh-huh.
So when something looks like in a certain position, it may not
Really
be
big
there
thing.
because.
Okay. Shmuel had a kasha. Ksiv oisa ash ksil v'chima. Hashem made these three constellations or whatever they are, these three stars. Ksiv oisa kima v'chzil, and it doesn't say ash. Haketzad il molei chama shel ksil. If it wasn't for the heat that's generated by ksil, lo niskayim ha'olam mipnei tzina shel kima. The world wouldn't be able to survive because we would be so cold from the coldness that's generated from kima. So there's a star that radiates heat, a star that radiates cold, and we're balanced in between them. If it wasn't for the fact that the tail of the constellation of Scorpion, if it wasn't dipped into the Har Dinner, which was a real river, then Kol Man, the have a Trikale Akrava, any person that would ever suffer a scorpion bite, loy v'chaye. So somehow the fact that his tail is in the Har Dinner somehow lessens, neutralizes somewhat the sting. And this is what the Rebbe Shem told Yoav, his kasher ma'adonis kima, oy moishchos ksil tiftach. I'm not sure what these things mean. My kima, what is kima? It's like 100 stars. Some people say it's like 100 stars that are bundled together. And some people say that it's 100 stars that are separated from one another. As we stop here.
Yeah.
So this is not a
This is
constellation.
these
It's
stars
not a
are way over my head.
constellation. One second. It's
I
not
don't
a
know.
constellation.
Could be it is, I don't know.
Could
And
be-
they're in a certain area.
It could be.
One of these refers to the Pleiades.
To the what?
The Pleiades, I think that's the way it's pronounced, which is a group of stars that are very close in the sky. That seven of them are visible, very, very close together.
But that's a part of a constellation also, isn't it? I mean, every star is supposedly.
Nowadays we assign a constellation to every part of the sky just for convenience.
Big Dipper?